Hello and welcome. Thanks so much for being here. I'm Esoteric Essa, also known as your Esoteric Homegirl Jasmine. This is your pick a card for what advice do the ancestors have for you here and now. We have three piles starting from the left. The orange post-it is pile 1, green post-it in the middle is pile 2, yellow post-it on the right, my right of the screen, is pile 3. So go ahead, center your thoughts. You can pick one or two piles. Maybe there's messages in all three for you. But this is what the ancestors have for you here and now. What advice? Go ahead and pause here and meditate. And I'll see you at your pile. Hello, pile 1. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here and supporting my work. If you aren't familiar with me, I'm Esoteric Essa. I am a tarot reader, intuitive, bruja, and I have a monthly column at Pop Sugar. So if you want to check out my monthly column, in the footnotes, you can get monthly tarot readings for your signs. And that's my fur pup. So I'm assuming pile 1, you have animals. You definitely have a fur baby. And this is your pile of you. This is the pile for those of you who chose the orange post-it. And we are only calling in high vibrational ancestors on behalf of your lineage. We're calling in ancestors who only have the highest good in mind for those who've chosen pile 1. I ask you kindly, if you enjoy the reading, don't forget to like this video, comment on it, or subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate the energy exchange. Thank you so much, pile 1. So let's get started. We're going to figure out who's the ancestor coming through for you and what the advice is and what the ancestral gifts that you are gaining from this ancestor or that lineage that the ancestor is connected to. So in order to know if this is your pile, let's get into some characteristics of you. And if this doesn't resonate, then it's not your pile. Remember, not every reading will be your reading. And I highly advise you to only take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and I'm not legally held responsible for any decisions you make based off this reading or any of my readings, okay? So please use discernment. So let's get into some astral signs that you might hold. If these aren't your astrological signs, and remember, we're more than just in our sun sign, more than just our big 3, sun, moon, rising. So you could have these astrology signs, sun, moon, rising, other significant placements for you. If you don't have these, don't worry. We're going to get into more characteristics and traits in the pile to see, all right, I didn't have those astral signs, but this is still my pile. So for those of you who have these astral signs coming up, this just means that all the more reason for you to stick around. This is a very potent and significant message for you. Thank you for letting me read on behalf of you and your ancestors. So let's get started. We have Mercury card, the planet Mercury. Let's see, can you see? Let's move this up a bit. Okay, much better. We have Leo. So you could have Mercury in Leo. You could have Mercury in the 5th house. You could have Leo Sun, Moon, Rising, Leo North Node, Leo South Node. I feel this pile, Mercury here, so obviously Gemini placements, Virgo placements as well. You could have Mercury in Virgo. You could have Mercury in the 3rd house, or Gemini in the 3rd house, the sign of Gemini in your 3rd house of your natal chart. And Virgo 3rd house. And if you don't have those astro placements, I get the sense that this is a group that is known either publicly or within their inner network or their community as someone who's well positioned. You could have a lot of eyes on you, a lot of attention on you, a position of power. I get this is a very charismatic group. I get this is a group that is very charming with their words. You're a very calculated group. You're very calculated and thoughtful with your messaging and how you get your message across. I don't see this as vindictive or conniving in any way. I see this more so as you've learned to evolve into this gift and you've stepped into this gift, whereas maybe in the past you were a little bit more intense with your words. You do carry a lot of intensity within you, Pile 1, in your personality and the way you self-express. And it's really beautiful because Pile 1, you have the power to captivate people with your thoughts and with the art and the ability of your self-expression. So whether you're a writer, you're a communicator, a public speaker, a leader, a teacher, blogger, journalist, advertising, marketing, an author of some sort, a teacher. I feel like maybe some of you here are teachers K through 12, kindergarten through 12th grade as well, in terms of a profession here. I do feel there's both masculine and feminine energies watching this pile. Let's see. Let's go to the tarot cards. So we have the Three of Swords, Four of Wands, Three of Clubs, Mother of Coins. By the way, this card is from the Hoodoo Tarot by Tiana McQuiller. Freaking love this deck. This is like my favorite deck to connect with when I'm doing ancestral readings. Mother of Coins. Is that in frame? We'll go ahead and go over here. The Gullah Jack card. Okay, and then these oracles will pull out afterwards. So, pile 1. This is a pile that has a beautiful ability to create abundance wherever they go. And you're not necessarily meant to stay in one place for too long. This is a group that evolves a lot, and you've gone through a lot of constant evolutions in your personal journey. And I feel this is also very connected to your professional aspect. Now it feels, pile 1, you're in a very stable place in your life. Your 3D world is definitely looking nice. Your job is stable, your income is stable, your friendships are stable. The life you've built for yourself, you've worked extremely hard at creating. And I feel this is a group that didn't come from privilege. This is a group that came from a tumultuous upbringing and a very volatile, possibly rocky or chaotic childhood. And if that wasn't the case, I definitely gather the sense that the ancestors who are coming forward are mostly your maternal lineage, the ancestors from your mother's side of the family, and mother's feminines coming in. So you're very connected to maternal spirits, and even in the 3D you could be really connected to feminine spirits. Like maybe you have a lot of female friends, a lot of significant people in your life are females. I do feel like this pile, majority of you have a sister, or majority of you have at least a sibling or quite a few siblings. And so it's like your 3D self is shining. You're in a very nice position of abundance, wealth, prosperity. There's a lot of beautiful energy coming in for you this year. And some of you are possibly even going to relocate or move, or maybe you're in the process of that. It looks like the eclipses this year are going to be really significant for you. I feel like they're happening in your, maybe in your 9th and your 3rd house in your natal chart. So some of you probably are on your way well into like publishing something significant in your life, whether that's a song, a poem, an album, a book. Maybe it's like a master thesis or like whatever the hell you need to publish for grad school. I'm like, what is it called when you, it's not undergrad, post-undergrad. And it looks like there's been a lot of harm done onto your lineage, your maternal lineage, by way of masculine energies. With this Gullah Jack here for me, this always comes up for me when folks have dealt with, trigger warning, okay, domestic violence, substance abuse. So there could be a lot of that on that side of the family. Your pile 1, you are very emotionally sensitive. You're highly empathetic, highly intuitive, highly emotionally aware beings. And you're really highly intelligent people. From an early age, you were likely treated as an adult, or were involved in adult conversations, or had to grow up very quickly. And childhood, the inner child was just put on the back burner, and now your inner child is just screaming for acknowledgement, screaming for love and support. And I do believe that this pile, you are very self-aware of that, and you're doing your best to go ahead, mend, heal the inner child, and further flourish the relationship of your inner child. And the message that seems to be coming through here is the ancestors really want you to continue stepping into the vibration of self-worth. With this orange post-it, I heavy Leo energy here. So maybe your ancestor is a Leo, or your ancestor that's coming through is was really good with their words. They were a great communicator. I'm even seeing writing letters, writing notes. Maybe they had great penmanship, or they loved to write notes and letters to you in the mail or something like that. But with this orange post-it and all this orange here, I feel that, and I know the orange is connected to the sacral, but I really feel that you, pile 1, your crown chakra is super lit, super open, and actually overactive. And there is a message here to send all the extra activity in the crown chakra. So how do you know if that's the case for you, if this is your message with the crown chakra being overactive? It's like when you can't focus, you can't sleep, the mind won't turn off, thinking. You don't know how to shut down the mind of thoughts. It feels like a monkey mind, or like you get lightheaded, dizzy spells often, or a lot of headaches or migraines. Of course, always go to the doctor, consult with a medical practitioner to make sure it's nothing, serious or whatever. And so this group is, I feel like you probably have a hard time sleeping. And that's because of all this energy trapped in the upper chakras. And with the sacral coming through, I feel there is a message for you to run energy down to your sacral, because you're a very creative group. And a lot of creativity of yours is trapped in the inner child. I feel like a lot of you have learned to release that. Okay. Ooh, what was I saying? The ancestors coming through. The inner child. Clearing and healing the maternal lineage. Yes, knowing your self-worth. I feel when the energy presented here is sharing that when you're in the 3D world, right? Like out in the world, in your everyday life, work, career, friendships, particularly career and profession. This is a very career-oriented group. Love it. You got it unlocked. You know how to stand in your power. You know how to ask, for your worthiness. But when it comes to the emotional self, the emotional body, I feel you're still confused. And it's not so much you're not acknowledging it. It's just you make yourself busy with like everything else. Like, I'm going to put all my attention in my job, my career, my passions, my pursuits. But, and I'm not saying you're not doing the work and you're not going to therapy or whatever. But when it comes to love and self-love, there's still a message here of the inner child trying to communicate with you that the healing that you're embodying based off of the maternal lineage is how to walk away from emotional, like, love partner relationships that aren't serving you your highest good. And I do feel many of you watching this pile are twin flames, divine counterparts, divine feminines, and I feel you're in a place of frustration where you're no longer chasing, and it's like, I'm not chasing, but I'm in complete rage, complete anger. I give up. I've walked away. And if you're not a twin or you don't identify with divine feminine or the twin energy, I feel this is just how you are showing up right now in love and self-love. So who's the ancestor stepping forward? Okay, so we have Sophia, which this is a new deck. I'm not familiar with Sophia. Maybe literally the name Sophia. But it says divine plan, wisdom, intelligence within, and destiny. We have Luna Llena from my Oracle deck, which is the Modern Spiritual Latina Oracle that you can cop. Full moon, cycles, illumination, integration, nurture self, the mother archetypes. There you go. The mom, the mother lineage. So it could be your actual mother or someone who was a mother figure to you, or the mother of your mother. Definitely your maternal lineage. Ishel and Mama Kilia. The number 28 seems to be significant. The number 10 and the number 1. The number 3, so maybe you were born on the 3rd day, the 28th day, the 10th day, the 1st day. Maybe you were born in March. Happy birthday. And then we have Cosmic Sisterhood, number 22. So also, maybe you were born on October 22nd, January 22nd, March 22nd, or the 22nd day of the month. Finding spiritual community, patterns, sisterhood. Yes, I feel like some of you have sisters. Intersectional feminism, starseed lineage. And some of you could be needing to heal with your sister. Like maybe you're having a dispute with the sister. Or it could just, I also feel like there's a very harmonious relationship with a sister figure. I want to get astro dice for the actual ancestor coming through. All right, so we have, okay, Virgo. So this ancestor could have been a Virgo, sun, moon, rising, south node, north node, or have significant Virgo placements. Wow, we have Pluto. Maybe you have Pluto in the 3rd house, Pluto in the 5th house, Pluto in the 6th house, and this is also Scorpio energy. Oh, okay, and then here you go. Speaking of 6, here's the 6th house. So you could have 6th house placements, a 6th house stellium, Leo in the 6th house, Mercury 6th house, Virgo 6th house, Gemini 6th house. I'm also getting Aries energy. So maybe this ancestor had Aries energy. Maybe this ancestor... I do feel with the Pluto energy, a lot of volatility. So this ancestor could have had a very hard upbringing, hard life, and they had to learn to self-heal. Because Pluto is about power struggles, power dynamics, and Pluto is about our dark secrets and the things we don't talk about, the things we keep hidden, the skeletons in the closet, what's taboo. And I do feel that this ancestor stepping forward This mother figure, this feminine energy stepping forward wants you to, you have the key here. You have knowledge, you have information that others don't have. And with this Luna Llena full moon, they want you to heal, bring a closure to this, like close the cycle, end the cycle, break the chains, and reveal the knowledge that's needed. It might hurt people's feelings, it might shock people, it might make people feel a sense of discomfort, but you're not here to live your life based off of the comfort of others. I'm not saying be vindictive. It's up to you what you want to do. I'm not saying to go out and hurt and harm people, but you are here to bring justice and truth with Mercury. Mercury is the sword to me, the sword of truth. Communicate. And Leo, you have the power. You're strong enough to speak up, share this message, and reveal this information and do the clearing and the healing. I mean, 6th house in Virgo here. You know, this ancestor was a healer. Whether they just knew remedios, they knew how to do like recipes for colds and illnesses. They want to teach you that. They want to bring you with that. And they also want you to, with this rose here, all this feminine energy, it's just like self-love. Know your worth, because this ancestor and that line that this ancestor comes from, your maternal lineage, respectfully speaking, had to stay in situations that didn't serve them, maybe because they didn't have the awareness of it, or they didn't have the freedom and the resources that you have, or they just didn't have the self-worth or the power or the will to do it. And with this Leo energy, the sun is shining on you and giving you the power, the momentum, the vitality to do this really intense work here. With Luna Llena, this is full moon. Integration, illumination, nurture yourself, remother, reparent yourself. Love begins. Number 1. Okay, so 1 coming in again. There's an emphasis on love. 19, that's 10. 10 and 1 coming in, and light. Yeah, look at all this light. This is like hella Leo energy here. And 1, 10, 28, 19, these are all the vibration of 1, right? This is the energy of leadership. So your ancestors, the advice for you is to step into your power, step into a position of leadership, and you're meant to take charge, you know, Aries energy. I feel like the gifts that are being bestowed upon you is you're the leader. You're meant to be the leader. If people got a problem with it, that's on them. Too bad. And I feel you do naturally take a leadership role, and you're seen as this authoritative voice in a lot of people's life, and a lot of people really appreciate you. You bring a lot of light and a lot of charisma and joy to people's lives. It's your destiny to, I feel, it's your destiny to believe that you're worthy of success and abundance in every area of your life, and to do it big. Like, the advice here is don't play it small. You want to be that CEO, you want to be that Fortune 500, in that Fortune 500 company, you want to be an innovator, you want to be a trailblazer, you want to, you want to be on the front stage. I feel like a lot of you also might be entertainers, actors, comedians, stuff like that. And it's like, you have the right to be your wildest dreams. That's what the ancestors are saying. And until you keep nourishing and self-nourishing and loving on yourself, the ancestors are going to bring this in for you, first of all. Divine love and a lot of success in your 3D world, career, and profession. Pile 1, you are here to play it big and take up space and inspire other people. And your ancestors want you to continue on the track forward. I feel that this pile might be a little bit tired, but keep going. Okay. Thank you so much. Pile 2, you chose this green post-it. This is your pile. And before we get started, thank you so much for being here. I want to encourage you to like or subscribe if you enjoy this reading. I would appreciate any sort of energy exchange that you share with me. Thank you so much for letting me read for you first and foremost in reading for your ancestors. We're only calling in ancestors of the highest vibration on behalf of those who chose pile 2, the green post-it. We're only calling in ancestors who have the highest good in mind and the best intentions for pile 2. That is all. Before we get started, I want to let you know that I do have a monthly column for Pop Sugar. I do a monthly tarot column there. So if you want to check that out to get free readings on a monthly basis, you can check that link in my description below. That's an easy way to just click and exchange energy with me and create abundance with me. We're going to get into a bit about you so you can know if this is your pile or not, if it resonates. And if this doesn't feel right, it doesn't resonate, try another pile that might have called to you. Remember that not every reading is your reading, right? Because we're channeling for whoever is just connecting with my frequency, whoever's ancestors are connecting with my frequency. Thank you to those ancestors. And if this isn't the reading for you, that's totally normal. Use your discernment also. You know, if this feels right, if it doesn't feel right, take it or leave it. This could still be your pile and some messages may not resonate. That's totally normal, yeah? I'm not legally held responsible for any decisions you make based off of this reading or any of my readings or any of our sessions if we ever work together. Just got to throw that out there for legal purposes, yeah? This group uses yeah a lot, or their ancestors say yeah, sí, que no. I'm just getting a lot of Spanglish. So some of you might be Spanish speakers or your ancestors were Spanish speakers. Maybe you had to communicate in Spanish with them. That won't resonate for everybody, right? Because not everybody here has Spanish, Hispanic, or Latinx origins. So don't get discouraged. It's just a message right off the bat for specific folks. That's not for everybody though. Chill, y'all. Dang. Don't click off right away. We're going to get into you. We're going to get into who this ancestor is that's stepping forward. What are their energies? Who are they? What are the ancestral gifts you're getting from them, this lineage? What is the advice you need to know what's coming in? And that's about it. Anything else? Okay, let's get started. So I've already pre-shuffled, but these are astro cards. If these are not in your chart, that doesn't mean this isn't for you. If these are in your chart, all the more reason this is a much stronger message for you. But if you don't have this in your chart, don't trip, because we're still getting into other characteristics of pile 2. And so that will help you distinguish if this is your pile or not, okay? So we have Pluto. Bada bing, bada boom. I do feel that this ancestor stepping forward has passed on fairly recently. Like it's a recent death. It could be within the last year, within the last 2 or 3 years, within the last month. So Pluto, Virgo, Pluto and Virgo. So you could have Pluto and Virgo placements, meaning you could have Scorpio placements. You could have Scorpio in the 6th house. You could have Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, North Node, South Node. Venus in Virgo, I'm hearing. Mercury in Virgo. Pluto in the 6th house. Did I say that already? Scorpio rising. Libra in the 8th house. Libra energy. You could have Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising. Libra 11th house, Libra 12th house. Okay, so those are just some zodiac signs. We're also going to pull zodiac energy for the ancestor coming through in a bit, yeah? Okay. Okay, so you pile 2, you watching. This is the energy of folks who, you're really gentle spirits. Man, but do people got it twisted? People misread you a lot. People misread you a lot. And I'm saying that because both of these folks here have their head down. I feel you're very shy individuals, very soft, very sweet. I feel maybe you don't really make a lot of eye contact with people because it's so intense when you do. Like, you can feel the intensity of people's energies. So this is a group that you retain and absorb external energies easily, often. So pile 2, you might want to consider, if you don't yet, having a spiritual practice in place to keep your aura hygiene up, aura cleansing, whether that's Reiki, energy healing, pranic healing, acupuncture, doing spiritual baths, baños, limpias, self-cleanses, okay? Cutting cords constantly. A lot of people like to cord onto you and latch onto you. And when I say cord onto you, it's like there's a lot of energy vampires that have been in your life or are in your life, or people just really because sometimes you're very passive, but don't get it twisted. Like, when you're done, you're done. Like, you'll let someone know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, back off, leave me alone, or I'm not having this, I'm worthy of more, like, you can't treat me that way, etc. And I feel that people sense your vulnerability and your really soft, kind spirit. And sometimes people try and take advantage of that. Or at least that's been a theme in your life because of power struggles, power dynamics with the Pluto here. This is a group that is very connected to their body. So physical activity is really important. You channel a lot of energy through the body. You're very aware and in tune with your body. You're almost borderline hypochondriacs. You could have a star tattoo. You could listen to Rihanna or really like Rihanna. I'm also feeling Pisces energy, Aries energy. With both of these folks looking down, pile 2, you're a very introspective group. I'm hearing stoicism, hermetics. You're really into philosophy. I'm hearing law. So maybe you work in law. Maybe you have a Libra rising. This is a pile that is meant to be of service to other people. And you keep other people organized or in place, or like you know how to delegate. That could be like anywhere from you're an executive assistant, or you're a stylist, or you're a professional organizer and you organize closets or organize spaces, or you organize people's schedules, or you organize a time, like a timely thing for people to do. I don't know if I'm explaining that in like a how do I say it? You keep people in structure, like you provide structure for other people, okay? Leave it at that. Don't need to over explain. Let's get into the tarot. Oh wait, one thing I wanted to say about this is I feel that there's two people looking away from each other. I feel this is love related, and it's two people rejecting each other. Like they're both thinking the same thing, thinking about each other, and they have a strong spiritual connection, but they're just being avoidant of one another. And I feel that they share a lot of similar disappointments, and they're both scared of rejection and vulnerability. Yeah. Okay. Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords. Can you see that? Eight of Swords. Lots of swords. This is the thinking group. This group likes to think. Eight of Swords. 12 of Diamonds. 8, 7, and 12. What's 8 plus 7? Isn't that 15? Yeah, 15. And I'm laughing at my dog right now. He's wild. He thinks someone's here. Hopefully he doesn't start barking. These two cards are from the Hoodoo Tarot by Tiana McQuiller. She's a hoodoo specialist. Gotta give her a shout out. Had her on my podcast. She's amazing. Please support her work if you can. She has tons of books as well. She's a published author. We have Courting and Father of Coins. I feel there's a set of grandparents. So take what resonates, okay? I feel like for a group of you, there's a set of grandparents. Two grandparents who are married and in love together. This is them. And then I feel for another set of you, this is a father figure. Someone who was a father figure to you, or they were a father archetype. And I feel this is on your father's line, your paternal lineage. From your dad's side of the family, okay? Your dad's side of the family, pile 2, is very magical. Potent manifestors. Your paternal lineage, your father's side of the family. I feel like there's a lot of magical abilities on that side of the family that you get, and there's also a lot of secrets on that side of the family. A lot of healing on the father's side, your paternal side, that needs to be done. For those of you who resonate with two grandparents who've passed very recently, maybe like a year apart or a couple years apart or months apart, these grandparents here, they're safe. They've transitioned over. They're definitely together. They're happy. Don't worry about them. They are reunited. They're also with all this sword energy. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, okay? Forgot to mention that. With these two grandparents here, let's see. I'm gonna have to take a break right now so he can stop barking. The message to you with the grandparents here is that they are so proud of you. They are in awe of you, pile 1. They've seen you accomplish a lot. Oh, pile 1, pile 2. Okay, maybe there's a message in pile 1 for you. Pile 2. Pile 2, I feel many of you are first in the family, or first generation, or maybe you're third generation, but you're the first to accomplish some sort of success, some sort of prestige, some sort of stability. This group's very connected to family. It's a very family-oriented group. Pile 2, you're very family-oriented here. And the grandparents coming through here are letting you know that everything played out the way it was supposed to play. There should be no guilt, no remorse, no grief. Let go of the grief. It's okay. All right. With the 8 of Swords here and the 7 of Swords. Animal messengers that we have coming in are the crows and owls. So if you resonate with either of those, if you see them a lot, if you see a lot of feathers, black feathers, white feathers, just again, this is a synchronicity. It's just another message to confirm, yes, these are your guides, these are your ancestors, this is definitely the pile for you. Keep an eye out for these animal guides, the owl and the crows. The ancestors coming in specifically are connected to them, to those animals. So if you've always felt connected to them, that's a reason why. With the 7 of Swords and the 8 of Swords, the message here, the advice from the ancestors is speak up more, express yourself more. I feel like a lot of you do better at night. Like you channel more energy, more ideas at night. You have more activity at night, more energy at night. Maybe you're night owls, like pun intended, quite literally. But 7 of Swords comes up when we are deceiving ourselves or we're keeping something hidden. We're not really openly sharing something. And the 8 of Swords is feeling self-entrapment. We're feeling trapped. We can't move. We can't release a situation or expand within and create energy within a situation. But that's not the case, because the Swords is all about the mind. And Tarot is all about the intellect. A lot of your self-defeating, I'm sorry, I hope this doesn't trigger you. I'm not here to judge you. But a lot of your self-defeating, you have a lot of self-defeating behaviors, pile 2. And you're extremely disconnected from your emotional self. You're extremely disconnected from your emotional body. I feel you have so much potential to be psychic, so much potential to be intuitive. And you have moments where you feel empowered and you're like, yeah, that was for me. Yeah, that was my message. Yeah, like, you know, I saw that, I felt that, I'm in tune, I'm tuned in, I'm plugged in. And then your ego and your logical self is just so strong. You know how to operate in that energy so well. It kicks you out of your intuition. It kicks you out of your spiritual self. Emotional disconnection. You're extremely emotionally disconnected. And you might even have an avoidant, dismissive attachment style. You might want to look into that. Avoidant, dismissive attachment style. So the advice here is to stop lying to yourself, whatever you're lying about. Stop overthinking. Stop self-sabotaging. And you're here working through soul patterns of limiting beliefs. I get a lot of 12th house energy here, so you could have planets in the 12th house. And the 12th house is the house of mental imprisonment, or quite literally prison. Maybe this ancestor was in prison. Maybe this father figure went to prison. Maybe someone in your family is in prison. And it's also the house of limiting beliefs. And Pluto is about destroying, destruction, transformation. Shadow work. Boom. Shadow work. Blockages, confrontation, ego death. Yeah. Emotions, purge, transcending soul patterns. Oh my God. Purge the grief. Transcend the soul patterns. Whew, man, this card. I mean, break the chains. Wow. And that to me is the card of shadow work. So Divine Masculine came up also. By the way, these are from my deck, the Modern Spiritual Latina Oracle, which I have in copy. I have in stock, so you can go ahead and cop one. So some of you could be Divine Masculines. You can resonate as a masculine energy. Some of you are literally Divine Masculine counterparts, twin flames. And with the Divine Masculine, oh, I didn't read it. I got too excited to share my deck with you. Conflict, power, Mars, solar plexus, Tikal temple, dark night of the soul. Chi blanc. Okay, so if you're feminine watching, or masculine, whatever, the message here that the ancestors, the gifts that they're bestowing upon you is you are powerful MFers. You guys are dark. You guys can go real deep, real dark. And I get a lot of Kali energy, Kali Ma, the goddess Kali, K-A-L-I, Ma. I get a lot of despat, whoa, I can't even talk right now. Tezcatlipocla. For some of you, your ancestor coming through, they wore a lot of yellow, or their favorite color was yellow. They loved yellow. Do you hear the ice cream man in the background? I love that. I would hate to live anywhere where I don't hear no ice cream man. I don't hear an elote man. I don't hear the honk from the raspado man or the fruta lady, right? That's when you know you're home. And I just feel that there's a lot of nostalgia that this ancestor brings to you. I feel you have moments of reflection, of fondness with this ancestor, and I see them hugging, holding, and embracing your inner child. Pile 2. So you are a group that's very powerful, and people get triggered by you. It's your responsibility to trigger, and you're here to really transcend the ego death, transcend these limiting beliefs, and connect with your emotional self. Because I feel one thing that these ancestors didn't do is they were super smart. You have very smart, intelligent ancestors, the ancestors coming through. And one thing they didn't do is they didn't know how to connect with their emotional self. So they probably passed on trauma that's been inflicted onto you, maybe by your parents or their parents or whatever, of cutting with their words, you know, being very vindictive. I get Queen of Swords, King of Swords energy, where they knew how to cut with their words, hurt with their words, and you have that power too, so you do have to be careful with that. But the abilities and the gifts they're leaving you with is, I do get Scorpio and Taurus eclipses this year are going to be really, really transformational for Pile 2 in a really blessed way. Because with this citrine here, this is about abundance and prosperity. I get ancestors connected to like Santeria, connected to Hoodoo, African religions. Yeah, but see this divine masculine? This father figure, or the lineage of your father, the paternal line, you're healing that. You're healing the distorted masculine. What's coming in? Wow, look. This is literally 8 of Swords, trapped in fear. Literally 8 of Swords. Trapped in fear. So 8 is a significant number, but this group, and then number 2, the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra, that's what this card is all about. You know, with the solar plexus, and it's about conflict and power. So some of you quite literally are probably going through a dark night of the soul. Oh wow, healing the mother line, healing ancestral work, mother line, growing up. So I feel with these grandparents here, these are the grandparents of your mom. So your mom, her parents. This father is either your father or the father of your father, or a grandpa on your paternal side. So it could be like 3, 4 generations down. Okay? All right, pile 2, thank you for being here. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check me out on Instagram, esoteric_essa. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful rest of 2022. Stay safe. Hello, pile 3. I forgot to roll dice for pile 2, so my bad, pile 2, if anyone from pile 2 is here watching. Oops, my bad. You just didn't need it. The ancestors were so clear on that group. Pile 3, yellow post-it. Before we get started, thank you for being here. I'm Esoteric Essa. I would love for you to go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy this reading. I would appreciate any sort of energy exchange on your end. I also have a monthly column, monthly tarot column with Pop Sugar, so feel free to read that, check that out. You can click it down below, the link down below. That's an easy way to do a free energy exchange with me, to give back. Every click matters, so they can keep funding and supporting writers of color. How do you know if this is your pile for you? All right, we're gonna get into the energy of who pile 3 is. So that way you can know right off the bat if this is your pile or not. If it doesn't resonate, it doesn't feel right, doesn't make sense, maybe there's a different pile for you. And if not, don't trip. There's another reading next time. Remember that not every reading will be your reading. Not every message in this pile will resonate with you. Some will resonate, some won't. Please use discernment. Use your intuition and your gut feeling, like, yep, I'll take that. Yep, that's mine. No, that don't make sense. I'll let that go. I'm not legally held responsible for any decisions you make based off this reading or any of my readings or any of our sessions together. I'm also going to get into who the ancestor is coming through. The energy of the ancestor. We'll get into some zodiac signs of the ancestors, some zodiac signs of you. If you don't have these zodiac signs, or if these aren't the zodiac signs of your ancestors, but everything else resonates, still take it. If you do have the signs, or they have the zodiac signs coming through, all the more confirmation that this is your pile. And we'll get into the advice. My dog thought someone was barking because I barked. We'll get into the advice and get into the advice from the ancestors, and we'll get into what gifts they're bestowing upon you that you can activate. Let's just do the dice now before I forget. I was saving them to the end of the reading, and that's why I forgot to follow through. So let's just get into, we're only calling in the high vibrational ancestors of pile 3. We only wish to connect with ancestors who have the highest good in mind for those watching for the yellow post-it for pile 3. So please, spirit and ancestors, may come in with only messages of their highest good. What are the zodiac signs for the ancestors of those who chose pile 3 here? All right, I'm gonna move it. Move this up. We have 8th house. 8. Can you see that? Focus for me. Focus. Won't you focus? I'm hearing that song by Her, H-E-R, Focus. So we have 8. Maybe 8 was their favorite number. Maybe they were born on the 8th day. Maybe they were born in August. Maybe they are a Scorpio, or you are a Scorpio, or you are a Leo or a Virgo. And I gather the sense that some of you are Pleiadians. You have connection to Pleiades, the Pleiadian starseed race, or you are a starseed. Identify as one. And then we have the planet Uranus. Uranus rules Aquarius, so they could have been in Aquarius. You could be in Aquarius. You could have Aquarius Sun, Moon, Rising, Aquarius North Node. Or they could have transitioned, because Uranus is about transitioning and movement. They could have passed during Aquarius season, which is the beginning of the year. January, February. And we also have Pisces. Lots of Pisces energy. Pisces came through for all 3 piles, so maybe there's a message in all 3 piles for you if you are a Pisces. So the ancestor could be a Pisces. They were born during Pisces season or passed on Pisces season, which at the time of filming this video, we are in Pisces season. If you're watching after the fact, It could be that Pisces season of that year that you're watching this video will be significant for you. And I do feel Gemini energy as well. So they could have Neptune, and you could have Neptune in the 8th house. You could have Uranus in the 7th house. Venus in Pisces, Venus in Aquarius. Libra, 12th house. Let's get into your zodiac signs and the energy of you. We're going to start with these two cards. First up, we have Scorpio. There you go. How appropriate with this 8 here. So you could have Scorpio placements, or maybe your sun sign. Let's say you're a Taurus, but you have Taurus in the 8th house because that's where your sun is at. Your sun sign is in the 8th house. And we have Luna, which is moon. So Cancer energy. Some say that, I guess traditionally, Pisces is traditionally ruled by the moon. The moon is the Lord ruler of Pisces, but I consider it more Cancerian. So you could have Cancer or Pisces placement. Or moon in the 4th house, moon in the 8th house. And I'm getting Cancer 10th house. If you don't have any of that, first you gotta check your natal chart. So you can just draw a free chart online, y'all. I need to clear the energy. Okay. If you don't have any of that, don't worry. Let's get into the characteristics of you. We'll start with tarot. Oh wait, no. I want to focus on this more. The moon, if you have moon in the 8th house or your moon is in Scorpio, the moon's actually debilitated in Scorpio. So what this tells me is you come from a lineage of debilitated feminine energy where the feminines didn't feel strong, whether that's physically. I get like maybe the physical illnesses. Maybe you as a child had like issues with nourishment, like maybe you didn't get the nutrients you needed as a child, or maybe you were like a preemie and you were born early, or someone in your life was in like a child was in NICU. Is that how you say it? NICU, NICU. Maybe you work with children in that capacity. You work with like preemies. Okay. Some of you are sex workers, or you work in sex ed, like in sexual education, empowerment of sexual healing here. This is a group that's very community oriented. This is a group that likes to be in community. You work in community. You facilitate community. You're meant to be in community, whether that's recreationally or professionally, and work with a lot of other feminine spirits. There's an energy of healing the sacral chakra and healing the life force energy there. So there could be trauma connected to the sacral chakra, whether within you, trigger warning, sorry, or within your maternal lineage. I feel like a lot of you, this is going to be on your mom's side of the family, your maternal lineage that's been passed down. And if you're a masculine watching, I still feel this is very, very much that message. There's a lot of, I feel like a lot of you have been dealing with health issues, or like unknown, like a lot of clarity needing to come forward. What's it called when like you go for tests and stuff, and you just like, they come out like, the doctor's like, I don't know, we don't know what it is, or it's inconclusive. But I do feel the Scorpio eclipse. The Scorpio eclipses this year are very big for this pile. And whether you're dealing with health issues or other stuff, okay, some of you like cherries, the scent of cherry. Some of you get cherry car fresheners. And some of you need to wash your car. They want you to listen to more music on lunar phases, new moons, and full moons. The ancestors want you to get very specific with the vibration and the energy and music that you work with on new moons and full moons. And they want you to do ceremonial work with music in particular, so curate music for you. Be very conscious and mindful of that. And I do feel a lot of you, I'm hearing Nordic ancestry. I'm hearing Greek ancestry as well. And I'm hearing Venusian, so a lot of Venus energy. Maybe you have a Venus in Scorpio, or Venus and Scorpio people are very musically talented. They usually have great musical abilities, or they're super artistic, so very artistic, creative group. And maybe you have a Venus moon, a Libra moon, a Taurus moon. And there's an energy here of, if you're watching this after the fact and it's not 2022, because I brought up the eclipses, go back to that time in your life. So if you're watching this, who knows when, 2023, 2026, or whatever, try and recall what significant shifts happened for you in 2022. Because those are attributed to the eclipses. So more than likely you have significant Scorpio or Taurus placements. Pile 3. They don't want you to give too much. And the ancestors aren't saying hoard or go into the Four of Pentacles energy, but they're saying don't overgive. Keep things to yourself. Keep mystery. Keep some secrecy. Okay. Going into the tarot. 8 of Wands. Temperance card. Number 14. And I can't help but think of the eclipses here. So we have Sagittarius energy as well. These are from the Hoodoo Tarot by Tiana McQuiller. Check her out. She's a published author. She's been on my podcast. I love this deck. This is my favorite deck to use when I do ancestor readings. 5 of Knives, which is 5 of Swords. So maybe you or this ancestor has a gap in their front teeth, like a small gap in your teeth, or they do. We have the 7 of Knives, which is the 7 of Swords. Six of Clubs. So I do feel for some this is a masculine, definitely a father figure, and for others of you this is a mother figure. I feel for some of you actually this is an aunt, like a Thea or an aunt. Like a Thea and aunt. There's a father figure, a masculine for sure. And then a great mother. The great mother, so a grandmother, a great grandma or a grandma. Great mother spirit. So, 5 of Wands, 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 5 of Wan All of those could come up for you, could be resonating with you, or just one out of them, or a couple. The advice for you from the ancestors, pile 3, is it's time to do you. It's time to, and it's not that you haven't been focusing on yourself, but it's time to move. You know that saying, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, that's madness, that's insanity. It doesn't work. So you need to shake things up. And okay, yeah. So what I'm hearing is it's time to go ahead and be okay with your personal agenda. Everyone has a personal agenda. It's just the way this world works, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing to be ashamed of. But you're such kind spirits, and I love that, because pile 3, you're the group that goes out of your way for other people. You're natural healers, pile 3. Pile 3, you guys are natural healers. And I don't see that people take advantage of you. I don't see that at all. What I see is you put community and you put everyone else first, and that's fabulous. But it's time to go ahead and say, you know what? I want this. I deserve this. I need this. And it's mine. Some of you are going to do a lot of travel this year, whether that's short trips or long distance trips. There's a message here of wanting to move too fast. You're trying to move too fast. You're trying to rush it. With all the knives and then the wands here, it's everyone accelerates at different levels. And I do feel this year for you, the eclipses are going to give you this big momentum and thrust you into these really big situations that you've been manifesting. But right now is the calm before the storm. So you need to get in order. You need to balance your energies. You need to ground yourself. You need to get organized. You need to get in order. With the 6th energy, it's about balance, order, organization, temperance, balance, right? And the minute you do that, boom, this 8 of Wands is coming in to shift you and level you up. I do feel like this year you guys are going to step into a big position of notoriety. Like there's a something that's going to spotlight you. I want to get clarity on this for you. Yeah, some of you are traveling to Montana. Some of you are traveling to, I'm just seeing like the Midwest, more like foresty areas. Advice. Yeah, look at that. I'll take these 3. The Sun. Judgment. And the World. Wow, this is big deal. Big deal. Dang, pile 3. The advice here is get ready. You might think you might think you are a little all over the place. I am going to say that. You do need to ground. You need to get organized. You need to really just, with temperance is about spirituality. Go into your faith. Go into your practice. Go back into your spiritual pursuits. Ground your energy through your spiritual pursuits, because I do feel you feel this big momentum, this big shift coming in. And This is all positive. This is all good energy. The advice here is once you go, you can't stop. And this is big. This, remind yourself you're worthy. I feel like imposter syndrome for pile 3 is something that's going to creep up as a big theme this year. And the advice is, again, you've worked on this imposter syndrome for so long. And this is just a bigger evolution. We always cycle back, right, with this Ouroboros right here. We always cycle back to the trigger. We always cycle back to the trauma, to keep picking at it, to keep chipping at it. At the, you know, you're in the gold mine and you keep digging at it, dig. It never fully goes away. We just get better at managing it, reacting to it, and creating alchemy with it. And so this new opportunity is going to put you in a position where you might even self-doubt. And you might be like, am I worthy of this? Can I do this? Can I rise up? Can I step up to the challenge? Am I smart enough? Am I talented enough? Do I have everything that's needed on paper to be in this position? Do I have the experience, the years behind it? And your ancestors are saying, throw all that out the window. A lot of people are going to say, you're too new to this, or you're too young to this, or you're too novice of this, or you don't have enough experience, or you don't. All those people are just trying to take away from the sun energy of yours, this life force, this vitality. Your ancestors are saying that your mission and your life, your trajectory, your journey is never has looked like everybody else's or anyone else's. Remember, you're very unique, pile 3. So why would it start looking like that now, pile 3? Why would it, pile 3? Never has. It's always been different. It's always been unique. So why would that change all of a sudden? So trust that this is your divine blessing. So if you've been manifesting something, a wish, a desire, it's coming in. And this is prosperity. Judgment, the world. This is about graduations, both of these. And people are going to judge you. And this is the scary thing, is you're evolving, and with that evolution comes higher standards, higher levels of accountability, more opinions, more judgment. And every opinion is the truth. Every opinion holds truth. But that truth doesn't have to be your truth. And that truth isn't necessarily your truth. Congratulations, pile 3. So we have curandera. These cards are from my deck, the Modern Spiritual Latina Oracle, which are in stock. And you can go ahead and grab one in the link down below. We have curandera, earth, grounding, indigenous knowledge, the root chakra, herbs, healer, and shaman. We have cinnamon, we have mushrooms, we have cedar, we have feathers, and this is coriander. So I'm sharing that if those are signs and messages for you, if there's any symbolism there for you, any synchronicities, if you work with those herbs particularly. This is foresight, so this is Jupiter energy. And this is Jupiter, change needed. Yeah, you gotta change something. I have like 3 batteries, pile 3, and I'm on my 3rd battery, pile 3. How beautiful and poetic. The only one battery was charged, so I'm on my 3rd battery. So I just got to push these messages out real quick. So Jupiter in astrology is about blessings and spirituality and prosperity and wealth and expansion and travel. So those are all big themes for you. With the crystal ball here, I feel like a lot of you are diviners. A lot of you do divination work. A lot of you do spiritual work. Root workers, shamans, curanderos, curanderas. Maybe you do a lot of journeying with plant medicine here. This says stay focused, plan ahead, prosperity, seek advice. Throat chakra, so a lot of you, I was gonna say a lot of yous. I feel like maybe the ancestors You are probably gifted with your throat chakra. The number 5 could be significant here. May and June are significant months. Maybe those ancestors have birthdays in May and June, and those ancestors have blessed you with the throat chakra ability. A lot of your ancestors have been creating alchemy with their own throat chakra. Yeah, intuition. You come from a very intuitive lineage here. So here's the number 2 at the top. Number 2. Intuition. So this is a very intuitive group. With this black mirror, I feel like working with black obsidian and with the crystal ball. Maybe some of you scry, like some of you are natural scryers, like you can do visions, omens, and divination work by scrying, like looking into a crystal or a crystal ball or a black mirror, black obsidian, or a mirror, doing mirror work, or like a glass of water. Try that, because I do feel your ancestors did that, and that's an ancestral gift. And with the Ankh here, that to me is always a connection to Egypt, Egyptian spirituality, or Egyptian ancestors, Egyptian past life, pile 3. So the gifts that they're bestowing upon you is your intuitive abilities, the ability with divination. You come from a very spiritual ancestor group. But the thing with your ancestors is they're asking you to connect more with your physical body. They're asking you to honor your body more, honor your temple that is your body, and come back into your body. Because with this earth and grounding energy, I do feel this group, you get really excited, you move really fast, maybe you're a little bit impulsive, or you used to be. So learn how to step more into your earth energy. Be more practical, be more strategic, plan, process, integrate. And I also feel some of you are just neglecting your daily routines. So if you got responsibilities, go do that laundry, go clean your house, go mop your floor, mail out that check that you haven't mailed in a while. Okay, that's going to help you get back into focus, because you just need to ground your energy before this big shift right now. And I know you feel anxious, so we need to do something to move away from the release attachment, release attachment, release attachment, right? All right, pile 3. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Find me on Instagram, esoteric_essa, or join my Patreon. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for letting me read for you. Thank you to your ancestors. Congratulations on a beautiful 2022, or a beautiful year whenever you're watching this. I know it's not going to be easy. There's going to be a lot of digging deep, per se, for you, pile 3. But you're definitely stepping into a really big year of self-empowerment, and not only self-empowerment, but just allowing yourself to be seen. Allowing yourself to be seen, and allowing yourself to want and desire, and letting those wants and desires come forward, and when they do, grasping them. Grabbing them by the horns. All right, I'll check y'all later. Thank you so much. Peace.